Let me ask a question. When you think about searching for potential clients on LinkedIn, where do you go? The search bar, right? Well, what if LinkedIn is actually showing you potential clients and referral partners every day without your having to run a traditional people search? Today, on What LinkedIn Doesn't Tell You, Darlene and I are going to reveal the secrets for how most people overlook because it's a great source of lead gen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi,
Certainly.
I'm Dr. Nancy Zier, sales psychologist, showing you how to acquire clients confidently on LinkedIn and elsewhere without being salesy.
And I'm Darlene Petrie, lead generation strategist, helping professionals turn LinkedIn into real business conversations. And Nancy, I got to tell you, this is one of my favorite things to teach because people often tend to think lead generation means consistently searching for strangers. It doesn't. Sometimes LinkedIn is already bringing the people to you.
That's great news, but the question is, where do we look first?
Well, I don't know if you're going to believe this or not, but notifications.
Oh, notifications. I've got to confess candidly, for years, I have ignored them. I usually thought of them as something I needed to clear out and get rid of.
And you are not the only one. There are so many people who do that. They're not even sure what to do with notifications other than clear them out. You open it, they're gone. But you really need to slow down before you clear them. You need to look at actually what's happening in that notifications little tab. Someone viewed your profile, someone followed you, someone reacted to your post, and someone commented, mentioned you, and someone you know changed roles and started a new position. Those aren't just notifications, those are information that
You know,
you can use.
you're right. And I'm thinking about someone who reached out to me with the happy work anniversary message and how that rekindled our relationship. So, from a relationship point of view, some of these people have already taken an action to connect. And that's very different from approaching, a cold list.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say someone you don't know reaches or reacts to one of your posts. Don't immediately send them a sales message. Go look at their profile. Who are they? What do they do? Are they someone you would genuinely like to know? Could they be a prospect? And don't ignore those people who can be referral partners. Could they simply be someone worth having in your network? The notification gives you a reason to pay attention. It's not, it doesn't give you a reason to pitch.
I love that distinction. It's a signal, an invitation to learn more, to start a relationship, not necessarily permission to sell. Please hear that. Don't sell me.
Ex-
Relate to me.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. And here's another place people miss potential conversations.
Yeah, what is it?
Okay. Let's say your ideal clients are business owners struggling to hire. Most people go to LinkedIn search bar, search for business owner, founder, CEO. But what if instead you search for the problem? They type, what you could do is you could type a phrase or topic into LinkedIn search bar. Then instead of clicking people, search posts. Now you're not simply finding people who have certain titles, you're finding conversations about a subject.
That's very different kind of information. A title will tell you what someone does, but a post reveals what they're thinking about.
Yes. And here's where it gets even better. Don't only look at the person who wrote the post, look at the people who are commenting. Someone might write, "Oh, we've been struggling with this exact same thing." Or this is one of those biggest challenges we're having right now. Or they may add a thoughtful perspective that tells you something about their business. There's information you would never get from searching a CEO.
And once again, we're not jumping into their inbox with an announcement, buy my stuff, when they, because they saw the problem. Please don't do that.
And that's something I'm so happy that we agree on. Do not do that, please.
Right.
So we're looking for reasons to begin genuine conversations. As I mentioned, I help people build real, genuine conversations. Read their comments, look at their profile, maybe respond thoughtfully to what they said, follow their content. See whether there is actually a reason to know one another. This is a lead generation through listening, not through just searching.
I love that distinction, but listening, not searching. What about people who are already engaging with our content? What should we do there?
Oh, that's another gold mine. Think about your last several posts. Are there names you recognize?
Yep.
Someone who has commented 3 times,
Yep.
someone who regularly reacts. What about someone who follows what you're talking about, but you've never had a conversation with? We tend to become so focused on finding new people, we overlook the people already standing right in front of us nearby.
Yeah, and familiarity matters. It creates comfortability. Someone who has seen your content repeatedly already has some context about you, and it's so different than a completely cold prospect.
It is. It's so different. Exactly. So periodically look back through the people engaging with your content. Not because, every one of them is a lead. They're not. But ask, who are these people? Who fits my market? Who could be a good referral relationship? Don't forget about those referral relationships. Who have I never actually spoken with? You may already have opportunities sitting in your own activity.
Well, let's say I find someone through a post and I think I'd really like to get to know this person. What should I do next, Darlene?
Before doing anything, look at their profile. Always look at their profile.
Bingo.
And one of the things I want to know is, who do we both know? LinkedIn will show you shared or mutual connections. Most people notice the number, but then they move on. They don't even look at the names. You may discover that someone you already have a genuine relationship with knows the person you're hoping to meet.
And that genuinely changes the psychology considerably because you have that mutual connection in common. You're no longer necessarily approaching a complete stranger. There's already a potential bridge in getting to meet them.
Right. That's exactly right. And I'm not saying ask every mutual connection for an introduction. Look at the relationship first. Do you actually know the mutual connection? Would an introduction be appropriate? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But at least now you have more information.
And that's another trigger to my mind about something you and I know very well, which is LinkedIn events. In fact, we've had a couple of viewers live just today, and I would love to have you make a comment because we want to get to know you too.
Exactly. Absolutely. Think about what happens when someone accepts an invitation to a LinkedIn event. They've given you an interest signal. If someone accepts an event about LinkedIn profiles, they're probably interested in improving something about their LinkedIn presence. if they accept an event about AI, leadership, cybersecurity, sales, or hiring. They've told you that topic has enough relevance for them to raise their hand.
But again, don't make the mistake of treating event attendees like a list of cold call prospects. They're not the same.
Exactly. That's exactly. And we're using it to understand people. Look at the attendees, read profiles, identify people who genuinely fit your market, and remember the context. If you eventually have a reason to start a conversation, you're not approaching them, completely randomly. You already know something about an area that interested them.
Darlene, these are great ideas for developing relationships. By now, we've found that finding someone through a notification, a post, a comment, a mutual connection, or an event, that these are actually simple, unpaid ways to find people. As we've suggested, visit their profile before you send a connection request or take any other kind of action. And this brings us to a crucial point in the pathway to generating leads, and that is what happens when they notice that we notice them.
They look at our profile.
Exactly. And this is the piece that most people forget, because our looking at them will trigger a notification. And we talked about notifications as a great way to find prospects. And so they're going to be notified you looked at their profile, and chances are they're going to do exactly the same thing and go view yours. So you can become excellent at finding the right people on LinkedIn and yet still lose the opportunity to get that relationship cemented when they visit your profile, because
the search only gets you noticed. Your profile has the answer to the next question. Why should this person want to know me?
And that's one of the reasons that we created the LinkedIn Profile Lab. It's not simply about making your profile look prettier. It's making your profile communicate to the right fit prospects that you're trying to attract. Does your photo cement your positioning and tell that person you're approachable? Does your banner reinforce it with a call to action? And does your headline immediately identify the benefit that you provide? These are relevant, and this is exactly what we want to fix in the LinkedIn Profile Lab.
Exactly. And those are the three pieces that we call the triplets.
And we go even deeper in the lab, because we look at your about section. Does it make your value clear? And then there's the featured section, which needs to showcase your expertise and up-level your credibility. And the activity, of course, what you're posting and commenting, these only go further to captivate and capture somebody's attention.
Exactly. Imagine doing all that work. You find the right person. You thoughtfully engage with something they wrote. They notice you. They click on your name, and then they can't figure out exactly what you do. That is a lost opportunity.
Yikes. That's exactly the gap that we work on in the LinkedIn Profile Lab. It's a live, hands-on experience where you leave with concrete adjustments to your LinkedIn profile. We identify where the message becomes muddy, and we show you what the visitor is actually seeing and what they're experiencing when they look at your profile. And we help you make changes so that your profile has more clarity, more credibility, and it's easier to engage with.
So the goal isn't simply how do I find more people? It's how do I find the right people, give them a reason to notice me, and make sure my profile supports the conversation when they arrive.
Perfect. So, Darlene, before we end, let's suggest what our viewers can do this coming week to apply the ideas we discussed.
And it's always good to practice, what you're learning. And this week, I would like you to find 3 people without doing a traditional people search. Find one person through your notifications. Don't just eliminate your notifications, look through it, find a person. Find one through a post or its comments, and find one through an event, a mutual connection, or your own engagement activity. Don't pitch them, visit their profiles, learn something about them, then do one more thing. Go back and look at your own profile as though you were that person. Would they immediately understand who you help, what you help them with, and why they might want to know you?
And if you're having trouble answering those questions, that's exactly why we created the LinkedIn Profile Lab. If you'd like more information, there will be another lab coming up in September. So go ahead and put lab in the comments and we'll respond and keep you notified.
Finding the right person is only half the job.
That's right, because you have to make it easy for that person to understand the value that you bring and the benefit that you provide.
And that's what LinkedIn doesn't tell you. I'm Darlene Petrie, lead generation strategist, helping professionals turn LinkedIn visibility into real business conversations.
And I'm Dr. Nancy Zare, sales psychologist, showing you how to acquire clients confidently without being salesy to your